Yeah, yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast, episode 31. What's up, DT? What's up, Just Jerry? How we doing today?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, fellas? One question I always gotta ask. Lance, you still with us?
I'm still here, baby. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Listen, guys. First of all, pleasure to see you guys again. Pleasure for you guys tuning in as well. Today, what we want to talk about is relationships in real estate. Excuse me. Whether that's with plumbers, realtors, attorneys, and everything else in between. How it could be a good thing, but wait, also how it could be a bad thing as well.
Absolutely. Relationships is very important, guys.
H.G.R.G, we're gonna give you both sides of it, right? So we're gonna tell you, the yin and yang, the good and the bad. So with that being said, DT. You've been in the game a long time, a long time. I know people that are watching this know that your experience is great, man. So with that being said, what are some of the relationships in real estate that have helped you, whether it's develop or get to the next level or whatever that may look like?
Obviously all of the above. Relationships are everything. I think in life, period, relationships are, a big part of anybody's key to success. And it doesn't really matter what you do. But in real estate, I would, the cliche say even more real estate. But truth be told, relationship, there's very, very essential to your success because it's not like an auto mechanic shop, right? You with an auto mechanic shop, if you're a good mechanic, you don't really need a lot of people for them to know you're a good mechanic. If you're a good mechanic, they'll come, right? In real estate, you could be a great buyer. You could be a great investor. You could be a great landlord. But if you don't have relationships, those off-market deals, they won't come because maybe you're kind of a piece of shit in life. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not the easiest person to deal with. Maybe you're easy.
Or maybe you can't even find you,
Yeah. Maybe you're not even accessible. Yeah. So, in every aspect in real estate, have relationships help me. Off market deals, wholesaling, property management, even off like kind of MLS deals that have been on the market for a long time. Realtors will be like, hey man, I just saw this one has been around. I showed another investor and it's a great deal. They didn't want to buy it. Do you want it? Just because you have a relationship with them and they know the type of person you are. So right. I can't even emphasize enough how important relationships are. Jerry has a dope perspective on this relationships wise for the bad part, which I think he can expound on that and also tie into the good because there's both sides of that coin.
Right. Yeah. So I'll tell you this though. I wouldn't jump in the baddies yet because we're gonna keep good right now. I think relationships just go a long way, bro. You need relationships to succeed, like DT just said. And you gotta feed it though. Don't one side the relationship.
Right.
Feed into it. Talk to them. Hey, what's going on it? What do you got going on? Oh, I got a project coming up. You may want it. I got you. If you're a contractor, if you're a realtor, feed them because if it's a two-way street, it's gonna help you in the long run. It's gonna not today, maybe not tomorrow. 2-3 years from now, It's still it's great to have. It's great to have. So H.G.R.G has so much relationships.
H.G.R.G is a relationship.
Absolutely.
Everything about what we are is relationships.
So, and that's what I wanted to jump into, right? Because Jerry and I started out of state. Mm-hmm. That was our first investment, right? Was out of state, and we didn't have any relationships. So this is kind of how H.G.R.G started almost, right? Is the fact that we didn't have an outlet, we didn't have a plug and play, so and we didn't have relationships, right? DT, you came from a relationship.
Yep.
Here we are on a podcast.
Yep.
You know, we went and we tried to do it just cold turkey and go, you know what? Let's get something. Let's give it to this person. I mean, firing and hiring everybody.
You know why I laugh? Because
tell me why.
Because
if
you sit down, it's not even a laughing matter, man. But if you sit down and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go gun hold and go straight forward, and I'm gonna go in. This is what I got." They say it's easy. I got this. You will realize in about 2 months of you searching and buying a property that you need a special team to make you to be successful.
Yep.
So when Land said we went in there cold turkey, believe me, we went in cold turkey and we realized we can't do it ourselves.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We need a relationship. We need a contractor. We need a plumber. We need a property management. We need a realtor. We need those people to make it to the goal that we need to get to. Right. So you think you got it, and you're stubborn. You got it. You'll realize very quick you ain't got it, brother.
And I know everyone's heard this before. It's not what you know.
It's who you know.
That's it. It's who you know.
Absolutely.
And even if you're the money man, you know, and you got, I mean, look at Shaq, look at Mayweather, look at all these people. They have teams in place.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're great businessmen and investors and whatnot, but they have a solid team around them. A team that we will probably never be able to access. You see what I'm saying? But and they have
speak for yourself.
They built a great team.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But they're the money man.
Yeah.
So even though they're the money man, it doesn't mean that they didn't need anybody or they didn't need help. And that's exactly what we needed. Even us being, the money man at that point, it started with us, but then it finished with the team.
Yeah.
Because we like Jerry just said, we found out real quick that we're not going to be successful just he and I.
Money, that's an amazing point, because money doesn't take you where you need to be in the long run, right? So what my point,
it only takes you but so far.
So money is not the answer to all questions, right? You have to have people, teams, things involved. You have to have a system. There has to be some type of systematic growth or systematic mental, like wherever you're going to go in real estate or whatever venture you go, but obviously specifically we're talking about real estate. You have to have a systematic way of doing things. You guys, when I met you, you had an amazing way of how you did your checks and balances. Like you guys had the money, right? And you created what you thought was the team, and you created like a checks and balances system for your team, right? That concept of checks and balances was genius, but the process or the people you pick they never fit the suit.
Well, that's how. I mean, go finish your thought.
Go ahead. No, but go ahead.
But that's how we ended up where we ended up at, because what we did was, and really, if I'm being really, really honest, right? It was just Jerry.
I don't even want you to be on the podcast.
It was just Jerry that came up with the concept. Like, I would think I started off too trustworthy, right? Or trusting in other people. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. They went to go see the property. Everything's great. He said, yeah, but let's go ahead and send this person too. And then we send that person. And we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and send that person to check on this person. And let's go send that person. All of a sudden, we had everybody. And then we started weeding people out. Like, oh, that's wrong? Is it really? And then we go back to the other person. Hey, did you see so-and-so and what at the property? Yeah, actually, you know what? I did see that when I went there. I was going to tell you guys about that as well. Oh, wow. So it's two people telling us that this person is doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. Right. So then we fire this person. Right. And then
Don't sound like that though. Don't sound, don't sound like that though.
Yeah. And I know I made that sound extreme, but you know what? We start weeding out till we have the team where we feel, good enough where we're like, you know what? This is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
When we call our realtor, they know what to expect. When we call our attorney, they know what to expect.
They put some respect on your name.
When we call the property manager, they know what to expect. I mean, but that's what we did. We just kept peeling back the onion with the checks and balances, like you were saying, and that's how we built our relationships.
So importantly, not to kind of cut that and move on to the next subject, but I just want to make sure that we touch on all the important factors, right? How do you balance relationships, right? Because I hear the misnomer a lot. And this is one of the things that I think people take too serious, right? Because I'm loyal and I'm the most loyal customer you're going to ever have in conversation, right? And I don't think that's a great attribute in real estate to a certain extent. Why do I say that? Realtors, contractors, even attorneys for the most part, even property management, just depending on what you're going through and what you're doing, how many units you're dealing with, sometimes it gets overwhelming, overbearing, and that's too much for one person to handle, depending on who you're talking about. Also, one realtor only has their network, right? They have the MLS, which everybody has access to, and then they only have their network. So in my opinion, to be an investor and be completely loyal to one person, to me, is you're doing yourself a disservice, right? But if we're having, if we're speaking about relationships, how do you maintain, manage, and manicure a relationship with, let's say Jerry's a realtor, and I use Jerry as a realtor for a deal, okay? And I'm a loyal person. Am I married to Jerry because he's the realtor that found me one deal? Should I be married to him? How do I manage that relationship, but it's healthy, maintain it so that it's a healthy relationship?
Well, how do you do that, just Jerry? Explain that. How do you handle and juggle multiple relationships?
So let's stay on the top of the realtors. I'm an investor. I'm not a one-off. So when I'm investing, I'm investing pretty much aggressively. Yeah. Who we are. So when we speak, it's pretty much like I'm going to buy. I'm waiting for you to give me a deal. Right. So if we continue to talk like that to investors and listen, I could put up a property up for sale. They get it. I give it to the realtors. Same thing. It's two-sided, but we always keep it. Every week we have a conversation with what's going up new, what's on the MLS new. It's just for that reason. It's just to keep you engaged with me, that that I am serious about what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And you'll have realtors, not to cut you off, but you'll have realtors that may have investors that put stuff up and they'll give you an off-market deal. You have some that have, connection to wholesalers. You have some that know how you buy and they know you like duplexes or multifamilies or whatnot. So you have multiple realtors for multiple reasons for multiple deals. Is that fair?
Absolutely. That is the game. So when DT says if you stay on one, let's say with one realtor, I'm stuck. Because if that realtor is only specialized in the MLS, I don't get no off-market deals.
You're limited to just MLS.
Yeah, I don't get off-market deals. I don't get wholesale deals. Right. I don't get anything across the board because I'm stuck to one person. No disrespect. Everybody has to make money.
Yeah, no, it's business.
Right. So it's business. So I'm loyal to you with the MLS, but I'm also loyal to Joe Smo because he brings the wholesales.
That's kind of I want to hear your take, Lance, too. But I just feel like it's only right that you're honest with the people you deal with. I think honesty salvages relationships more than people think. because now like being honest is like not normal. People think lying and, you know, misleading is the right thing to do. You know, if I do
Dan.
Jerry,
damn social media.
Dan.
if I do a deal with Jerry and I do a deal with Lance, you know, I gotta hide from Lance that I did a deal with Jerry. You know, if I did a deal with Lance and I gotta hide from Jerry that I did a deal with Lance. No, let's be honest. Jerry, bro, you did that. Appreciate you. That's a great deal. Send me the next one. Lance, great deal. Send me the next one. Oh, by the way, Jerry, I'm in contract with another one for that. Boom. Like, I think that goes a lot further than people realize. And it, to me, is just being human being. You know, there's like morals and ethics that certain people don't move by, but I do. And I think that if you move like that in real estate, I think it helps you more than it hurts you. You know,
I just don't. So sorry to cut you off, D. I just don't understand why you hide it. It's your money. You're the one who buying.
I don't get that either. I think
You're the point man.
Yeah, you're the money man. Yeah. So if you don't feel, if you're going to run around and feel scared to not tell the next person, look, I spend my money somewhere else just for this deal or the deals.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm sorry.
Being in a boss position may not be for you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Lance, I'd like to hear your point, your take on you know, that salvaging relationships, and you know, how do you maintain that? How do you balance that?
I mean, just being real.
It doesn't necessarily have to be realtors either. It could be
right, but you know, and that's a big part because a lot of people, and we mentioned the realtors because I think it's very common, right, that you have one realtor, because if you're just doing it the proper way, like for yourself, for primary residence,
yeah,
you know to have one realtor. You know, they're going to put your house up. They're going to find you a new house. You're going to go through everything with them. You're going to sign a contract with most of these realtors, right? And then you're kind of married to them for X amount of months, right? So, and you see it on TV as well. You know, they go through the process. They have the one, you know, celebrity, you know, a realtor, whoever it is that they're working with. So that's the imagery that people see. Mm-hmm. When you're investing, right? It's a whole new world.
That's a great point. Please, people, listen to what he's saying, because that's like literally that's the answer. That's really how you manage. You got to understand the difference between being you know, owner occupant, single family primary residence buyer to an investor. Yep, go ahead, Lance. That's right. Perfect. That's perfect.
When you're investing, you don't want to miss a deal. You're in it for the deals. Mm-hmm. You know, what's best for you. Really, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's what's best for you. Mm-hmm. So for you to miss a deal because you think you're being loyal, right? Let me ask you this. When it comes to loyalty, is that realtor? Are you the only person that realtor?
I knew you was going that route.
Are you the only person that realtor's working with?
I knew once he said, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "He's going to ask the same question." I'm thinking.
I mean, you gotta put it in perspective for people, right? You're not the only client. So why is that going to be your only realtor? They're going to respect it no matter what, because you do business with them.
Yep.
Right. And that's just what it is. When the business comes, they know that you're there. You know that they're there. Yep. Right. But you cannot limit yourself, because you will lose in this game.
Absolutely.
If you limit yourself. Right. As far as like property management and whatnot, try it out. If you don't know what's best, I wish we would have done this. I wish I would have took one property, put it here, one property, put it there, and let's see what happens for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Who do I like better? So I don't want a contract. You want to say I don't need a contract. Let's do a 90-day grace period, and then I'll sign a contract with you. You're the boss. You're the boss, right?
That's not really.
Oh, here we go. Look. It can be a reality. You tell me we cannot negotiate that?
No,
absolutely.
No,
absolutely. You can't do it. You won't do a month-to-month basis.
No,
with somebody.
No,
you tell me that does not exist.
No,
you're telling me that does not exist.
No,
absolutely.
It can't, because
why can't it?
In specifically property management.
Absolutely. Let's go, because I know it can, because I had a conversation. So okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so in order for you to manage a property, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you have to have like contractual agreements for you to access that property. Okay. So if I agree to manage your property on a month-to-month basis, 30 days commitment at a time.
Yep.
I cannot get, if they're on like subsidized housing or Section 8 or DSS, I can't do all that in 30 days time frame and then end it within 30 days to be able to take care of you, receive the rent, cut you off, and be done with you in 30 days. So I can't agree with that.
I understood. Great point. Now what happens if I don't? What happens if I don't have Section 8 or any subsidized housing or anything?
That's like not that? In property management. There's no what if I don't have, because you have to understand.
But I have many properties that don't have that. So what happens if I have a property, if I want to take one of my properties, and give it to you, right? The cash, they pay cash.
Don't mess up this relationship.
Why wouldn't this podcast is over? But why couldn't I do? Is that something that you wouldn't accept?
No.
At all. And it's something you think that can't be negotiated.
Maybe somebody down the line might, but that in
all right. So you know what? Let's do it this way. I stand corrected, because at the end of the day, I never did it that way. I was thinking about what if I did do it that way, but I stand corrected. DT is in property management.
What you should do.
He knows better than I do.
Yeah, what you should do, because I understand your point. What you should do is that when you hire a management team, right, you should just make sure you have an exit strategy that you can manage or maintain within 30 to 60 days.
But that's even if you have a contract right now, I could walk away from you after 30 days.
Right. That's it. That's all.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So but Lens, what you said, it was misguided. That's why you said I don't have no contract. I have it for 90 days. Don't write no contract. The management company is going to give you a contract regardless.
You have to have a contract.
Right.
But in the contract, you could break your contract, but you have to stay there at least for 30 days, because it says 30 days. If you close, it takes 30 days for them to close.
And notice. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. So all right. So you can't break the contract. There'll be a contract there. But so what I said, I'm gonna save myself here, stands true. It's just that you just got to be willing to break the contract, which you can do. There's not, for the most part, the penalty is minimal.
Because Lance, you remember we broke our contract a couple times.
That's where I was getting it from. I'm like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? I know we left.
The only part of what you said that I said no, it happened, because you
have to have a contract.
It's going to take over your property without a contract. Yeah. Number one. Number two is, if you sign a contract, you have to give at minimum a 30-day notice of the cancellation of that contract.
Correct. We definitely did that.
So nobody can say I can only manage your property for 30 days. That doesn't exist.
Got it. So in the correction here, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not adding none of this. Right. So what?
No, we're not, because you're wrong, and that doesn't happen.
After you took that beating on the other episode, I know you want to keep this.
Hey man, listen, I came back with a helmet on today.
Wait a minute. Speak for you. I'm editing the shit out of this.
We're definitely not editing this. So
we ain't gonna look bad on tape.
Very clear, right? When you want to establish, a relationship with your property management, and you don't know what to decide between, put a property in one, put another property in the other, and then you break the contract with the one that doesn't suffice. Is not up to your standards, not up to par. Right.
And to be clear, right, in property management, obviously I'm heavily involved in property management, so people may see as like a biased opinion, but I kind of, I can't take away who I am. I see things from both perspectives. I always value me, the investor, that I don't care about property management, but I have to have one. And then, me, the property manager that values the relationship of the person who is the investor. Right. So if I just asked, somebody asked me this question the other day. Matter of fact, one of our students, I forgot to tell you guys this. One of our students called, and they were like, when I buy my next, because he already has 2 properties. Oh. And he was like, when I buy my next property, and he was like, when he asked me this, he was like, I know you're going to give me a biased answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. And he said, should I put my next property under a different property management just to see the differences? Right. So I said, actually, my answer to you is that if I was out of state investor, I would consider doing that if I didn't have a team already that kind of went through all the management teams or several management teams within that market. So if I was an investor that didn't have H.G.R.G, my answer to you would be yes. But being that you have H.G.R.G and we already experienced all the, the goods, the bads, the uglies, I would say to you, you can do that. That's not a bad thing. But before you do that, I would refer to H.G.R.G and ask them which teams, which managements have you been through in that market, and avoid those and maybe try some of the ones that we haven't tried yet.
Correct, because H.G.R.G went through a couple.
Yeah.
So we could give you some insight and say, hey, we've been with a couple that you may think that they're good. It sounds good on paper. That's the reason why we're in this property management, because we've been through that. So relationship is the conversation. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
No, so true. So to your point, full circle, Lance, you brought in a great perspective, but you kind of messed up on the other shit. But it's all, it's all good.
Listen, he's gonna drag that one out, bro. He's gonna drag that one out.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. We all.
It can still be done, and this is good advice for people that are out of state. Whether you're messing with H.G.R.G and not, right, and you're looking at other markets. Free game. Do that because it's something that we didn't do. And that just shows the authentic, how authentic this podcast is, because no one scripted that. We obviously, you don't want to come on a podcast and be wrong. It'll give misinformation, right? But you corrected me right away. And that's something that Jerry and I didn't do. We went with one and then they messed up and we fired them. And then we went with another, they messed up. If we could have just split the properties just to see, we could have lost half the money in half the time.
Right. Well, even devil's advocate, not to drag it on because, it's not worth it, but that doesn't even mean that that's true. Because, who's to say that you give, one property to one team, another property to another team, and both of them ain't right.
Yeah, it's still half the time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Now now you lost out twice with two teams. You know what I'm saying? Like there's which one of those two teams are going to be good and one's going to be bad. What happens if you get two bad ones?
Absolutely.
You find out at the same time, so you can move on quicker.
Hold on.
How do you know if you don't have a good one to base it off of? You know what I'm saying? Now,
that stands the same if you put two in the same and then they both going to fail.
Yeah,
right.
They both
stays the same.
I can learn if they're both going to be trash at the same time or one at a time, but I'm still going to learn the same thing about them.
Because the conversation in that, I don't want to beat that to the post. If you put two in one, you don't like that one, you go to the one that you we're going to put one and one. Mm-hmm. You have to now put that in that property management, and that's already 2 months here, 2 months here. So now you lost twice. 4 months.
Yeah, but I did it in 2 months.
Yeah. Correct. That's what Lance was saying, but I get what you're saying too as well.
Listen, you know what happened? This is residual from the last episode, right? He sees I'm underwater a little bit. He's trying to put, I know you don't.
No, what I want to do though,
it's not that serious.
Listen, Lance, you listen, man. Life jacket, whatever you want to do, but I'm here for you, man. Last thing I'm going to do is see you drown, bro. I will cut my mic off. You got it, but I don't want that. I don't want that for you.
We don't want no smoke, man.
What I want to say is that too, though. 2 months, and this goes for any market, any team, any investor. 2 months is not really enough for you to.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely not. So let me not. Oh, matter of fact, I stand corrected. It took me 2 months to cut that one of them guys off.
Absolutely,
it showed, but it's not. But you're absolutely, Dan. It's not ideal.
Your situation was extreme.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Or a nightmare. Right.
Yeah, right. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. An extreme nightmare.
Just fuck with H.G.R.G. You ain't gotta worry about none of this shit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, my man.
Period.
Doesn't matter.
You're gonna get some people who watch and God willing, who pay attention, tuned in, subscribe, all that stuff, that don't ever want to tap into our market and what we do and utilize our team, our services, and the wealth and knowledge that we have. So, for those people and the people who listen that maybe even considering, consider all things, not just property management, but even attorneys, realtors, it doesn't matter. We're honing in on property management because obviously,
because we made a big deal of me with
Lance is,
but let me ask you guys this, right? Because usually you're competing, you're in competition, you want to get to a property before anybody else does. Yeah. You want to get it for the best price you can before somebody else does, right? What about building relationships with other investors? Is that something that people should do? Is that something that investors do? What's that look like, DT?
Let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say it loud. Relationships. Anybody that you can build a relationship with is 100% going to be beneficial for you and all parties involved.
1,000%.
Right.
Well, why do you say 1,000%? Somebody give me an example.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
If he explains it, I got a couple examples. But go ahead.
Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
So, and if I'm dealing with an investor, if I know DT and DT deals with buildings, and I want to get into a building, and he wants to let go of a building, I have to now just talk to DT. I don't have to talk to a realtor. I don't have to talk to anybody else. I speak to him.
Just that simple.
And now I got a building that I want to invest in because I know him.
With a guy that you would think is competition, now actually eliminated competition because you know him directly.
Yeah. It's such,
and it happens on the regular.
So many misnomers, man. Listen, you got to understand. There's so much. There's enough money for everybody to win. Everybody can win because. It's kind of, I'm going to relate it to like life, right?
He got that gospel in him right now. Go ahead, Kit. Go ahead, Kit.
In life, you want a woman, you want a man, whatever that looks like. You want a relationship. There's so many men and women on earth that you don't have to fight 2 people for the same one. There's so many you could pick. Pick who you want or, figure out who you want, socialize with those people. Once you find the right one, you get it. It's enough money in real estate for everybody to win. It should not be like,
but fellas, wouldn't people argue location? We've already had people ask, and that we're on a Zoom call and they're like, well, why would you tell people to come to your market? Isn't that competition for you guys? Right. So what do you say?
That's what our students have asked us that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Why would I say, I'm H.G.R.G and you're going to help deals and all this other stuff? Right. By the way,
and you guys are investors yourself.
We help our students find deals that are unbelievable, deals that they too good to be true, can't believe it until they close. And then when they close, they're like, oh my God, this just happened. Like, I couldn't believe it. So is it still enough to go around?
It's one thing to say. There's enough for everybody to eat. That's it.
So Jerry's an investor. Lance is an investor. I'm an investor, right? Financially, we are all in different places, right? I don't like the same properties you like. You don't like the same properties I like. I don't like the same neighborhoods you like. You don't like the same neighborhoods I like. You don't like the same types of properties, right? I like fixer-uppers. I like buying properties I like buying the worst property in the best neighborhood because I have the means, the staff to do the sweat equity or the, fixing up. And I can do that. I have that. Jerry and Lance is not really, maybe if the deal is right, they'll do it, but that's not really what they're targeting. And if just so has to come across their desk, and they, they'll do it, but that's not really what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? They have their own niche. They have a very good niche. They're very successful in that niche. It's not the same as mine. That's why I related it to like your search with a woman or a man. You know, I like a certain type of woman. I like a certain type of way you treat me, the way you this, that, third. So my niche is not your niche. My type of woman is not your type of woman. There's enough for everyone. It doesn't matter. We don't have to like the same one. Nevertheless, if you tell me about something you liked and it sounds good to me and you pass on it, I might be a player in that field. You dig what I'm saying? So for students, oncoming people who are interested in the market would ask, why would I go to your market when you're going to be you're not my competition. I'm not your competition.
I'm your ally, to be honest.
First and foremost, let's be clear. Investor would be good to know.
Yeah. First and foremost, let's be clear. Before you, I was. After you, I'll be. Same thing with you. Before me, you were. After me, you'll be. So what you eat don't make me shit. What I eat don't make you shit. We're going to be good no matter what.
Bars.
Right? Yeah. New investors coming in and taking heed to our advice. We're giving them deals that we would buy if we were in their shoes. Not the problem, but the difference is that we're no longer in that position. That's the only difference. We're leveling up. That's the goal in life. So when I started, that's what I was looking at. When I was at this place in life, that's what I was looking at. But right now I'm in a different place. So I'm doing this. I'm working on this and I'm working on that. And even if you're working on the same thing I'm working on, I don't have enough money to buy everything I see and I like.
That's the conversation, bro.
So when I see something that I like and I can't buy it, who I'm going to call? Relationships.
You better call on Tyrone because I want it.
My relationship. Who do I know that buys these type of properties?
Right.
Who's in my relationship? Lance, look what I got.
Right. Would you say that may be, as an investor, the most important relationship, or would you say,
on my part, that's one of the most important things.
Can you specify that question? Because I think I know what you're saying, but I don't think you said it for me to understand it.
I guess we're in relationships and building your portfolios or building up your as you as an investor, getting you to the next level.
Yeah.
What's the most important relationship? Is it a realtor? Is it an attorney? Is it property management? Is it knowing other investors? What would you say in your opinion? I know it's subjective, but in your opinion, DT, what would it be?
All of the above.
I'm about to hit you. Every person is important
because you don't know. You never know
every person
your next deal comes from.
Even a contractor. It goes down to a contractor.
Bro, somebody who they don't even have to be in real estate. Relationships. One of the best deals that I bought came from a cousin's girlfriend who went to a Christmas party for my company, and my cousin invited her, because that's his girlfriend. And when they came, she was like, this is a Christmas party. What do they do? Oh, they're in real estate. Oh, really? My cousin has a house that he's looking to get rid of it. You think they would be able to help? 100%. Give him a call. Done. Bought it.
Just like
$10,000. I bought a house from that deal. I bought a house for $10,000.
Yeah. And if you talk to a lot of investors, especially seasoned, they'll have a story like this.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And I got probably 10, 15 of those stories, but I'm just saying, like, that's just being quite honest with you. And that person has nothing to do with real estate. That's my relationship with my cousin.
Right.
That got that deal. So I can't, when Lance, you asked the question, what's the most important relationship? My answer to you is all of the above and some. We're going to do another episode, and we're going to preach, talk, and emphasize the importance of making it clear and making it loud to everybody you rub elbows with what you do.
Right.
Who you are and what you do.
For sure. Well, DT, like I said, you gave him words of wisdom right there. Just Jerry, anything you want to tell him, when it comes to relationships before we wrap this up for him?
I would say relationships is big, so don't shy away from it. Don't walk away and think I need this for myself. Everybody is a major part of a movement, a team, a success story across the board. Relationships will get you to the next level. I don't have one relationship. I have multiple, and we're sitting very comfortable where we at with relationships. Yeah. So I would say always. Don't be a dick. Become a friend with everybody.
That's a fact. That's
Absolutely.
a fact.
I would say like this to wrap it up. Really, oh, go ahead, DT.
I would go as far as to say that I am, and I humbly thank God for the position that He's allowed me to be in business, in life, in real estate. I would also say that I am where I am in real estate because of the relationships that I have. If it were not for my relationships, 100%, I would not be where I'm at. 100%. So I know this podcast was very general about, but I would even emphasize to people watching and listening, value your relationships. Don't underestimate them. You never know where your next best deal is going to come from. And it doesn't have to even be somebody you really deal with. It could be a friend of a friend of a friend that you don't even know. And eventually that becomes one of the most important parts of your life. When you look back 10, 15 years, I just told you about my cousin's girlfriend that I don't even own that house no more. That house now is my parents' house. They own that now. And, that allowed that by multiple years later, allowed me and my lady to be in a position to do other things that is just humbling and amazing. And I'm telling you right now, relationships are to me, one of the most important parts of being a very successful real estate investor, an owner, a landlord. Any part of real estate is essentially driven, and you can see the results based off of your relationships. 100%.
There you go. The only thing I would say to wrap it up is, you need a team. You can't be great by yourself. A lot of people would say that, Jerry Rice is the best wide receiver, but he had to have somebody throw it to him, right? So at the end of the day, it takes a team. And, and once again, I love H.G.R.G and what we put together, and this may not be your market. You may have your own team, but listen to the jewels that we drop so that way you can build a successful team.
Matter of fact, I forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
I just dropped off a check today. No, not for you.
Oh, okay.
We bought a house.
The check doesn't say H.G.R.G, bro.
I bought a house. Me and my lady bought a house today. A deposit check today. I got this house. We got this house based off of relationship. It's a house that went on the market for a very good price in a neighborhood that we rock with. The realtor is a friend, a realtor friend that I dealt with like when I first started doing flips 10 years, 15 years ago. I saw that they were the listing agents. I was in Puerto Rico, so I wasn't able to physically do a walkthrough. So I called them, and they were doing delayed negotiations. And I was like, listen, how do I get that property before the delayed negotiations? She was like, we can't do it. We got to do this, that, and third. I was like, okay, listen, I know you, you know me. I want this property for myself. Please, whatever you need to do, do. She said, okay, I'll call you back. I sent you the e-sign in your email. I need a deposit check for this amount. It's yours.
But that example there, not to go into too much more depth with that story, but that example there is what somebody will do for you when you have a relationship with them. My man cut the line.
That's why I said that.
But that's why H.G.R.G.
No. I didn't cut the line. Because they're entitled. Like, I don't want to get nobody in trouble because they didn't violate ethics for realtors. Right. They did their walkthrough. I'm not going to tell you how this happened.
Right.
They did their group showing. After the group showing, I got the house.
You
for my price.
You cut the line.
My price.
So you did all that to tell them that you cut the line. Go ahead, Lance. Finish this up, bro.
Legally, you can't say that.
What the fuck is? Read through the fucking lines, bro.
but either way, guys, it was a great episode. I appreciate you guys once again. Thank you for tuning in.
Salute.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment, and we'll keep bringing it to you episode after episode. Take care.
Yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines.